another library in STATA that's name is xtgets, xtgets. This is used for general to specific test to check if there's a structural break in the data because of any cross section or time period interaction. Okay, so it can check that thing in the data. So we start with examples and then I will build on it. Okay. Okay, so this test checks multiple things. First is IIS, which is impulse indicator saturation, which compares the cross section and then the cross section with time and see if that interaction is outlier as compared to others. And then this JIAS, which is outlier in time only. And then this JSIS, which is structural breaks across cross sections. And then there is FESIS, which is checking the fixed effect step indicator saturation, where it looks at unit specific step shifts. It checks at how cross section into time that interaction is different from and which is significant, which is changing the intercept. Then there is CSIS, which is coefficient step indicators, which looks at the coefficient of the variable which is selected across cross section. And then there is a CFEIS, which is coefficient FE step indicator, which looks at coefficient breaks across time. And then there is a time, which is looks at if there is a time break uh, in the data. So we will do multiple. So I will show the code, how it can be done, and then we'll show you the examples that I have done already. So if you go down and you can see that you will load your data and then let me reach the point here. You actually set your cross section and here variable, then you run your regression using xtgets dependent and independent variable, then apply this function one by one. Okay, so the example is already here. I will show you a few examples here and then and there are some graphs which I will show you. So let me go up from the start. So firstly, I estimated simple regression just to see if my example variables is significant or not. So this is simple random effect model. Then I started with xtgets, dependent variable, independent variable, then applied FESIS model. So when you run, it will fixed effect step indicators. So it will run for 200 observation, 10 cross sections, and 20 time periods. Okay, and then it uses the p-value as a threshold 0.001. Okay, and then for that the t-value is 3.291. So it means any cross section and time interaction which has higher t-value than this, it means it is very significant. So it will shortlist. So because there are 10 cross sections, so there will be 9 dummies, and then there are 20 time periods, so there are 19 dummies for that. So total 119 candidates, their cross products. So if you look at out of 119, which one are they creating a break in the intercept and a huge break? It's you can see the p-value. It's less than 1%. So it estimated the model. So it used this threshold and then it estimated the model with all the intercepts and slopes and only kept the intercept which had higher t-value. So this says that FESIS for country 1 and here 1947. So there was very high t-value. So it kept in the model. Others are not retained. So it showed it later on also. It showed that this cross section and this time period, according to FESIS, has a significant break. Okay, this intercept is different from all 100 and remaining 189 intercepts. So what does it show? See, it detects permanent level shift in the unit intercept. Retain FESIS I dot y with the coefficient tau means I experience a permanent shift of tau stating at here y. So positive means positive, negative means negative. So this is the so this is technically showing that there's a the treatment effect. So significant effect is there. So you can also see them some diagnostics that are detecting it. Now we go to second model, FESIS and IIS together. You can do it separately also, but to save time, we are doing it together. So you can see that this is impulse indicator saturation. This is fixed effect indicator. So everything is similar. There are 109. So there were 190 coefficients here. Okay, but there are 200 impulse indicators because it uses 10 units uh, and 20 units. Okay, as an indicator for impulse. Okay, so you go down when you estimate it, use the same threshold value. It this is the background calculation, and then it shows you cross section and time, and it includes one FESIS and three IIS. It shows that country 1, 1937, country 1, 1938, country 1, 1942. So it's retained these four total breaks. So FESIS we already discussed. IIS detects one-time outlier for specific unit time. A retained IIS I dot y means unit I had an unusual value of at here y. For example, crisis, management measurement error, or shock. The coefficient is an outlier magnitude. So it's looks like an outlier. So it checks this method is detecting an outlier combination. And then there's some diagnostic of this model. So this model picked two of the outliers, and the reference is there for the interpretation. Now we have created some plots. I will show it later on. I will pick other examples first. Then there is model of CSIS. What does it do? I will let you know. So it picked only so because it compares the time periods against variable slope. So if I don't mention the variable, it because there's only one variable, so it will do it for that. Otherwise, you have to mention the variable name. So the codes will guide you how to mention. So because there is only one slope and 19 cross sections after adjusting the one as a baseline, so there are 19 breaks to check breaks actually of the slope across time. So so same critical value is used, you can change that also using the code. Okay, so it ran and it gave me 2. So the invest variable in 1942 has a different slope as compared to other invest values slopes, another in 1947. So this way it has this plot of CSIS. So there are two indicators, and then there is model of CFESIS. So what does it do? It compares variable with cross sectional and time also. So like this. So when you run, it checks at the change of the slope across 119 cases, which is country into time. So it identified none. So there was no slope break in that method. Next is TIS. So you go down, it will show you that it checks the generated 119 trend indicators across periods, so 119. Okay, so it looks at changes in the trend. Okay, so this stress value, it identified none of them. No structural break of this type is detected. Okay, then there is all three of them together. So when you estimate, so it's told me that there will be if you all test all of them together, there will be 409 indicators that are tested. So when you go down, it identified 4 of them, 2 of slope and year, one is the cross section, 2 are cross section into year, and the 4 are shortlisted. So it detects which of the country and time combinations, or even country and variable. And so there are 4 that are retained. So the interpretation are here. Okay. So we already did interpretation of these two earlier also. So IIS already CSIS is detect the structural change in the slope coefficients. Retain CSIS XY means effect of x variable on dependent variable is changed at year y for all units. So for all cross section, this variable is different for that year. Okay, and this is the remaining test. So I will go towards the graphs. So the graphs are estimated using this for detecting timeline. Okay, so and then detecting. So I will show them one by one. Let me check if any one of them missing. Okay, so these are the graphs. So the first graph is it's looking at the intercept changes. So we identified that only the first cross section had extremely different coefficients. We pointed out here. Okay. Then if you go to breaks, we found out that for FESIS and ISIs, there was only one FESIS for this year, and there were 3 IIS for this year, the remaining mentioned. Other cross section you didn't pick it up. Then this is the grid for each cross section in terms of black line is actual dependent variable, blue line is the fitted dependent variable, and the red is FPSIS. So it fitted identified only for the first one. It didn't pick up for any cross section. Okay. So this way you can plot the FPSIS in the grid. Okay. Next plot is it looked at the first one only. Okay. Counterfactual. So it only looks to identifies a cross section where there was a problem and showed you in detail. So you can see there was a huge break, huge temporary break between what should be there and what is actual. Okay. So there were four years for this cross section where there was a significant break in the data. Okay, so the blue line is the fitted, black is actual, red is counterfactual. Okay. Okay. The what is difference between counterfactual is if there is no break, so the graph should move like this rather than it should dip. So there's a huge break. So this year had led to a huge dip in the dependent variable. This year had led to a significant increase in the dependent variable. Similarly here, huge dip, huge dip. Last one is it plots the residuals. So if you look at the y-axis values, you notice that there are how to identify the patterns. Okay. So this is the residual plot where for each cross section, you can use that to see how your model is performing across each cross section. So this was the model that I presented today. I hope you understood how it can be used. It's like a difference in different estimator method where you compare the each type of country and each type of cross section and then see how they behave with respect to dependent variable. So if you want to go to theoretical details, the base study of R in this method was developed for R is presented here. So if you go here, you can see this study by Pettis and Schwartz, discovering what mattered. So detecting unknown treatment as a break in panels. So this study was developed is available in R. So this is converted into a STATA method. So you can compare. Only problem you might face is if your cross sections are too many, then it will take time and it might give you too many breaks, and then the graphs might not be feasible to present. Otherwise, you can identify these issues. Thank you very much for watching. Do share it to your colleagues. Thank you.